As a child, playing outside forms such an important part of growing up, and it's really important for a child's development as well, both their physical development and actually developing things like independence and resilience. But for working parents in particular, it can be really difficult to try and find the time to play outdoors with your child. So today I'm joined by Shakira Akabusi, founder of StrongLikeMum. I'm going to have a little chat about some of the benefits of exercise outdoors as a family, and also how as a parent you can encourage your children to get outdoors and play. So Shakira, let's start off with what are some of the benefits of exercising for children and actually for the whole family?
So I think being outside gives us this really amazing opportunity where we can bond and play away from other distractions from technology and screens, getting outside and doing something in the open air. And there's so much research behind the benefits of exercising outdoors, being outdoors together, and even just the colour green, how that can boost our mood and our well-being. And for children, being able to feel the floor underneath your feet can really help them to grow and develop with things like coordination and balance and just exploring the natural world. So it's just a good part of their overall well-being and growth.
And I once learned that if you ask a person their first childhood memory, the first thing they can remember, the majority of people will say something about when they were outdoors. Because we tend to be happy when we're outdoors. So are your kids ever really reluctant to go outside and play? And if they are, how do you overcome that?
Yeah, so absolutely. I mean, all of my children enjoy being outside once they're there, but I think you hit the nail on the head. How do we get them out of the door? And so for me, I just set them a small little commitment. So I'll say to them something like, we'll go outside for 5 minutes and then we can come indoors and get snuggly, or then we can come indoors. And they enjoy, once they're outside, they're in the moment, they're enjoying themselves. More often than not, we're likely to stay outside for longer once we're there. And also really encouraging them by making it adventurous, making it fun. My children love treasure hunts. I can write little clues down, or I'll say to them, right, let's go and climb a tree and see how high we can get. Can we get to the moon? Or, doing all these kind of games.
Making it high energy, making it exciting.
Yeah.
Are there any other types of, games or activities that you recommend families can try, or actually the children, we can encourage them to go out on their own and have a go
out? I think the more imaginative and creative we can make an exercise, maybe it's not a plank, maybe it's a train tunnel, for children. And my middle son actually came up with this great idea the other day. He said to me, Mama, I want to do planet yoga. And he took us through all the different planets, and on the moon we were jumping around, and then we span like the rings on Saturn, and bringing that creativity into movement and activity to make it fun for them and make it an adventure.
Imagination as well, isn't it? Because I think often children now, they are immersed in a video game, or they're looking at a screen, and actually for the brain to develop, using our imagination is really important. And it's not just about children, it's about us as well. There are loads of benefits for us as adults to exercising outside. Is that something you like to do? And how do you find the time, having 4 children, to get outdoors and exercise yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, being able to exercise as a mum, that's really where this deep love for exercise grew even more for me, because often, you mentioned I have 4 children, it can be busy, it can be noisy, there's a lot of demand on my time. And being able to get outside, whether it's just for a 5-minute stretch or a 20-minute walk around the block, it just allows me to sort of decompress and release some of those stresses that I feel, and then I can go back into parenting, often feeling much more positive than I did before.
I can only imagine 4 children, young children, how much noise and chaos that must be.
It can be noisy, yeah. As for fitting in the time and when can we do it, for me, there's certain times of the day where I'll feel more energetic, or I love early mornings, so I can get up half an hour early, and I know, even though we might think exercise is going to drain our energy, it can actually give us energy. So if I can get outside and go for a walk or a jog for half an hour, I'm going to feel much more fueled and prepared for the day ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right, it does give you more energy, but there's no way I'm getting out of bed a minute earlier than I absolutely need to. That wouldn't work for me, but I think for me, being busy, being a mum of 1, I'm very, very busy. I don't know how you do it. For me, I've had to make it a non-negotiable. I've had to make sure that exercise and spending some time outdoors goes to the top of the list, because it's so easy for that self-care to slip to the bottom of the list. But I know that if I'm doing that, even if it is a 10-minute walk around the block, like you say, it's not just good for me, it's actually good for everyone else who's around me as well.
Absolutely. And if you can't, find the time to get outside without your children, go out as a family and, have that time all together.
Yeah, brilliant advice. Thank you.